The first thing we were involved with was looking at the questionnaires before they were used and giving some input into that.
You're doing portraits. I don't know if you can see.
It's more like fast than accurate. Okay, the always group is...
The always group has the right amount of people at the same time.
The Always Group is a fine bunch of dedicated learners
who help researchers
to share ideas to help ground the ideal research in real life.
To help people live well with dementia.
Happy?
Yes.
I was there on the magic day when we chose the name.
Who has not been drawn? Tom.
Hello, young man.
How are you doing?
Very fine, thanks.
Excellent, man. Nice to see you. I'm going to try and draw a picture of you. How about that?
Lovely.
Your name badge there. Tom. There you go, Tom.
That's great.
Thanks, man.
God, dear, it looks like I'm looking in the mirror.
I don't always know if I'm doing right or wrong with Tommy.
Never know.
I shadow him too much, I think, and
He looks pretty good.
people say that he does look pretty good, yeah. But it's definitely getting harder.
Yeah.
It's definitely getting a lot harder. And he's understands a lot less. He doesn't really. I don't think he really knows what I do for him. I don't think.
What do you think, Tommy?
I know what you do. I know what you do. Don't worry about it.
Looking forward to the end of the study, what would you hope the Always Group will have achieved? I hope the Always Group will have made a difference. I think dementia for too long has been almost in the shadows, partly because it's generally speaking old people.
Sure.
And old people are quite compliant,
Yeah.
by and large. It's also a mental condition or disease.
That makes people feel, yeah.
So you've got that added bit,
Some stigma.
and stigma, and that's been marginalised.
Yeah.
And so consequently, it's not being at the party.
What's your experience with dementia?
Oh, I'm a person that have a diagnosis of dementia. You got clients, people who's coming to the project with all these different type of disability, most of them with memory problem and Alzheimer's. I communicate with them a lot because a lot of people just feel to themselves that they cannot talk about whatever is going on with them. Now, looking at it, it made me look like an old lady. But I love the picture down here. So if you could capture this one and leave this one with the shoes, that's fine.
Do you think you're a good example of somebody who's living well with dementia?
Yeah, I think
and
so.
living alone with dementia.
And living alone with it. It was really scary to say, okay, I'm going to even think about going to the travel agent to book a flight. So that take me away from the UK for 2 months because I stayed in Canada for a month and I go to Jamaica for a month. Just put things in place.
Dementia Friendly Hampshire project.
Is that your job then?
Yes, because I started as an engineer
Yeah.
and then ended up in management, didn't like that. So I took a gap year or 3 and travelled.
Yeah.
And then I think I mentioned I did my TEFL, did that in Spain. And then, worked in China, Korea, volunteered in India, up in the mountains. That was interesting.
How was that?
Oh, brilliant. I was there for a little while one summer, about 2-3 months, and then I went back the next spring. And I had the same experience with Mum. She got diagnosed back in about 2009. And soon after I wanted to learn a bit more about it, so we booked to go to the Alzheimer's Society conference in Bristol. When we got there, I thought she would just sort of sit in the corner, she could still read and maybe read her book. Didn't really think she'd want to take part or be able to. And when she said, well, can I sit at the table and take part? And she did, very successfully. I felt so embarrassed and shamed that I hadn't given her that opportunity.
The wonderful development of this group is that we're asked at each stage about the questions and our input, but not only that, we've got people like Keith and Diane and that, who have got dementia, that we can also learn a lot from, because as we discuss things, they have their input and then we see it from a different perspective.
I think, having lived with dementia now for 7 years, the key thing to living well is support and understanding. That can come from people close to you at home and people in the community as well. Alongside that, I think it's important to retain interests that you've had in the past and also to be open to new things. Alongside that, to plan something that's in the near future, but equally important to live for the day and to live in the day. I think to try and maintain social contact with other people at a time when it becomes more difficult is also important. It's a case of use it or lose it.
Are you a good singer?
No, I'm not a very good singer, but the lady makes it fun, and that's what it's all about. So we have people with dementia and without dementia, and we have some people from our church choir come in, so we're quite a mixed bunch of people.
Good.
But amazing, the sound we make is quite surprising.
I bet it sounds good.
Yeah, people are quite amazed. I think on the news, media, papers, whatever you read, it's all about diet can help dementia and Alzheimer's, this tablet might help it, one thing and another, all these different things. People are bombarded, but from this Always group, I feel we are trying to get people to live well with dementia.
Are you Tommy's partner or are you just
I'm his wife,
Yeah.
but also his carer.
Yeah. Have you got a favourite song?
My all-time favourite is Roy Orbison, Only the Lonely.
Oh, I love Roy Orbison. I can try and draw Roy Orbison really quickly.
That looks great.
There you go, Maureen. It's very lovely to meet you.
Can research like this be useful?
Can it?
Think so.
If other researchers wanted to have an Always group or wanted to involve people with dementia and carers, is there a recommendation that you would make?
And I think anybody who's wanting to have people coming to a meeting somewhere has to be careful about the location.
What this project does, it has a base, which tends to be here.
Meeting the researchers on a regular basis keeps them on track a bit as well, a reminder that you know, these people are real.
You want to say anything about yourself?
Yourself?
Yeah.
When I go home, you'll be saying, he's only talking about himself. Doesn't he? It's nice to see everybody.
It's lovely to see
You
you.
know.
Well together again.
Yeah.
Hello.
How are you?
Still got a bit of ink in your pen, have you?
I have just about. I've got some spare cartridges too.
Oh, there's no fear of me missing out then, is there?
I did drama and art at college, but then I only got a job doing English and a bit of drama. And then I ended up doing media studies for most of my, for the last part. That was really good fun. I think what this project is pointing out is the actual quality of life, the fun.
I love coming down here, hearing what people are saying, bits and pieces, and I can think, well, I can say that next time.
And we bounce off each other with ideas and thoughts, and it's just...
It's an affirmation, isn't it, of our own values?
Yes, yeah, and you really do feel part of something quite strong and important.
We have a movement. There's a rights movement now. I went to the United Nations and I spoke about this, and they listened, and now the government are responding. And IDEAL is part of that.
I just want things to really push forward. I know a lot of you, no, I don't say a lot, but Kate, no, when I want to dig my eel in, I dig my eel. Pushing things forward and going forward, that's what I want to see.
Thank you very much, everybody.
It's been a really good day, really good, and all the people here, good luck to you.
You too, man.
Thank you, Tom. Bless you.